The breaking news, you're looking at live pictures from Lower Manhattan. Shimon Prokupecz here reporting moments ago what appears to be an eighth explosive device in the exact same type of packaging from the devices yesterday, sent to the office of the actor, director, Robert De Niro in Lower Manhattan. The tie between De Niro and the 7 other targets yesterday, De Niro has been very critical of the president, and the president, of course, has responded in turn.
This is frightening. I mean, you have to wonder how many more of these are out there and how are these being delivered. It doesn't seem like there's any postmark on any of this.
How is that possible? I'm so confused if there's no postmark.
I'm confused by this as well, and I think someone needs to needs to explain this to us. How are these being delivered? And why are these being discovered in the way that they're being discovered, kind of overnight, early morning hours?
Right, 4:30 a.m. Is when we've heard John Avlon has also been working his sources. He worked in the mayor's office for a long time, so he was saying at 4:30 a.m. I think that was the same time as the one that was discovered, or the police were called from Hillary Clinton's home in Chappaqua. So there are, yes, eerie similarities that obviously investigators are following all of these threads.
And they're able to get into the building, right? I mean, the device made it into the CNN building yesterday. It appears this may have made it into the building. With the president, Obama, Clinton, they have Secret Service protection, so they have screening off-site, so it doesn't get in, but other targets they do. And keep in mind, it's not just the target that is at risk, because if this went through the mail system, the handlers, every stop that a letter makes on its way, those people also at risk.
It's on the move.
Well.
It looks like it's on the move.
Tell us what you're seeing right there.
So that's exactly what we saw yesterday. Looks like they've now removed it. The NYPD now dealing with a second bomb, essentially. I mean, there's a bomb in that truck at this point. The way they're treating it, it's going up to the Bronx, same thing as the one from yesterday, where they'll pick it apart, preserve it, do what they need to do with it, and then it's going to go to the FBI in Virginia.
This is absolutely going to precipitate another need for law enforcement to get out in front of this. Now that we know that there are there's another package out there, and we have to presume that there are others getting out in front of this now, because the number one thing is they need to allay the public's fears. Any other new details off of this bomb or this suspicious package need to be put out there as well, so that the public can help us out, either calling one of the 1-800 tip lines or calling their local FBI office or police department.
This is such a big deal now when you think about, because you have New York City is now being targeted by this person. Obviously, the NYPD and the FBI all over this, probably putting out the photos that they put out last night, certainly what we've done. By putting out photos of what these envelopes look like is what led to this response. You're going to see such a response from the NYPD now and the FBI.
And keep in mind, New York City, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, upstate New York. And the other point I would make, John, is that this is now an attempted attack over several days. Package sent on Monday. Several sent on Wednesday, and we're now into Thursday, another package.
I was just going to ask that question. First of all, you're seeing just an incredible picture right now of city blocks blocked off, and you can see all the traffic even at 6:35 a.m. just to the beyond where the picture is right now.
And all of the emergency vehicles in that convoy is such a dramatic image.
Can I say something about that? Because yesterday, in the midst of all this, you have, as you often have, the conspiracy theorists out, and not just confined to the dark reaches, the corner of the web, but very public voices with very big platforms raising questions about this, about whether it's a false flag, whether it's a fake, etc. My answer to that is, look at how the New York Police Department is treating this, okay? These are serious people who take their job seriously. They do not waste resources like this if this is fake.
But we don't know who the culprit is. I mean, let's be fair. We don't know what the culprit's motivation is.
These are real explosive devices sent to several addresses around the city. This is not fake news.
For sure.
Look at the way the New York Police Department is handling this.
Do we know, and this is one of the mysteries, we're trying to understand the intricacies of mail delivery because that matters. Jim, you said sent over several days. Do we know that to be true? Is it possible they were all sent at once and one is only now arriving at the office of Robert De Niro?
That is
received over several days, regardless.
I mean, that is a possibility, right? There may be more in the mail system or however these are being sent. Look, we know that the Postal Services, the FBI, they're trying to find another package, right, that was sent to former Vice President Joe Biden.
And why do they know about this package so they can't find it?
That's a good question.
They think it's just in the system somewhere.
It could have been received at a sorting site, and they may have logged it, and because it was the wrong address, they may have then sent it back. That's a great question. We don't know. But what this seems to indicate is certainly that this person, there's going to be more, and certainly, you know, how this was sent, I think, is going to be the big focus of the FBI. And
Stand by, guys, for 1 second, if you will.
Yeah, we have one of our reporters, our CNN reporter, Mark Morales, who is live at the scene for us. He is on the phone. Mark, can you tell us what you're seeing there?
Well, it's a heavy emergency response presence at the moment. You can hear helicopters in the air. There's bomb squad. ESU is on the scene. They've got about a block from the restaurant. It's taped off. And fire trucks here, ambulances are here. It's a heavy response at the moment.
A heavy response at the moment. Just so you know what we're looking at, Mark, we're looking at that truck that is designed to contain explosive devices now driving up the West Side Highway, you know, during the morning commute in Lower Manhattan. This is a remarkable image we're seeing right now of that truck. We believe it's headed to the Bronx, which is where you send bombs in the greater New York City area to be taken care of. How close are you to the building itself where this was sent?
If I had to eyeball it, I'd probably say about 100, 150 feet or so. It's, again, like you said, the containment truck is left just a little bit ago. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
And if you can still hear me, Mark,
police.
if you can still hear me, and I know it's a chaotic scene and you're probably being moved around there. Yesterday, when the bomb was sent here to CNN, thousands of people who work in this giant building in City Block were evacuated. Are there people all over the streets? Have people been removed from the building or buildings in the area?
It's hard to say at the moment. Right now, there's people that are sort of walking around, just sort of getting ready for their morning commute, that are avoiding this block. So it's hard to say if anybody's been evacuated right now. Officially, it's only being called a suspicious device, as far as or suspicious package, I should say. So I'm sorry, they haven't said device yet, but obviously there's a containment truck that's there. So there's obviously a heavy response. We're still trying. There's a lot of details that are still trying to be determined at the moment.
All right, Mark, stand by for us if you would, because we'll come back to you. Jim, are you seeing a citywide alert?
There wasn't. We got these yesterday, text alerts citywide in the midst of the events, and we now know that one went out, and I'll just read it. Due to police activity, expect a heavy presence of emergency personnel in the area of Greenwich Street, just as we've been seeing there. Consider alternate routes, allow for additional travel time. I mean, they get that kind of information out as quickly as they can so that the greatest number of people are warned about the danger there.
I want you to know what's going on the set as we're looking at the screen right here, which is that Jim and Shimon are working their sources on the phone while they are talking to us and while this is going on before your very eyes. And Shimon, you just raised your hand there and said you have more.
So just some more details on when this was discovered. I'm told NYPD got a call around 4:45 this morning, and the emergency services unit and obviously the bomb squad immediately responded. Frightening is that this package was already on the 7th floor of the building. It made its way up to the 7th floor of the building. I don't know what's on the 7th floor, but we know that this was addressed to Robert DeNiro, Tribeca Productions. So this package made its way into the building, maybe through their mail system. They may not have a sophisticated mail system like we do here, and it made its way up to the 7th floor. Why was it discovered at 4:45 this morning? That's fascinating.
Here's the thing, you know, it's interesting in the midst of this yesterday. Of course, former presidents, former Secretary of State, they have Secret Service protection. De Niro, CNN do not. Even a former CIA director do not necessarily have that. So you don't have that line of defense where the mail is screened off-site. So this is another case where the bomb, the explosive device, presumed possible, it has similarities to the packages sent earlier, made it inside the building.
And just to be clear, this is Robert De Niro, not his home, as far as we know. This is his office and the office of the Tribeca Film.
And I believe the restaurant owned by him is in the same building.
Tribeca Grill.
But it was addressed to him. His name is on the envelope, indicating that he was the target, whether to hurt, kill, threaten, scare, make some kind of a statement. And what is Robert De Niro's connection to the other 7 targets of the bombs yesterday? Robert De Niro has been very critical of the president and President Trump. Jim, it's going where? Tell me where that bomb is going right now, into the Bronx, and what are they going to do with it?
It's going to go up north to the Bronx First thing is to look at it to see how stable, potentially stable, or unstable it is. If it is deemed to be unstable, John, they will probably conduct a controlled detonation up there where they put a small shape charge on it and try to separate the initiator and the switch from the actual explosives themselves. And if they don't have to do that, the good news is then, again, they have something else that is a treasure trove of not just evidence, but forensic intelligence for them to try to link these bombs together.
So just quickly, so it's heading up to Rodman's Neck in the Bronx, which is where the other package was brought yesterday, the other bomb, I should say. There's an NYPD facility there. It's a firearms range, but they also have an area, the bomb squad is generally, that's where they are, and they have this area where they can work on this, make it safe. Right now, they still, though it's being transported, they still need to do more work to make it more safe so that they can really start picking it apart and doing the forensic work. So this is going up to the Bronx, to the NYPD bomb squad facility up there.